Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Please hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. And be sure to hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. I appreciate all of my subs for supporting the time and supporting the grind. The beautiful brown sugars in the building. Hope you're doing all right, sweetie. Um, and I also want to give a shout out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball and boxing community. Brown Sugar know why I'm laughing. Look, man. Ted in the building. I see you in here, man. Look, I'm still going for Indiana, okay? Whether y'all like it or not. But uh, that's not what I'm not gonna rain on anybody parade. Okay. I'm not gonna raid. I'm not gonna raid. Or I'm not gonna rain on anybody's parade. Uh, but the way the Indiana's playing, man, is much different than I had anticipated. You here for it? I'm still going for him though. Look, man. Jaylen Brown. I've always said this. Okay. Salute to Cypress. Salute to Steven. If you pay attention to my channel and you looked at some of the content that I've dropped, I made a video about it before, and I've always said that Jaylen Brown to me is the more superior player because he could get it done on both ends. Now, although he's not a closer, but you've seen spurts down the stretch when Jaylen Brown can get it done. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that he's never closed because he has been clutch. Um, we're not talking about like no last second all the time and stuff, but if you go and you go look over the course of Jaylen Brown's career, during the regular season, he'll come up big in situations. But this wasn't even that needed in that type of game. This dude, man, was just dominating from jump start. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not the better player, man. Um, if you look at their shooting percentage, go back. Hey, Steven, I want you to go back. This is always what has been said about Tatum. He's an inefficient shot jacker. You've never heard that about Jaylen Brown. Matter of fact, Jaylen Brown has always been two-way. He's always been known as a two-way player, but they fail to give him the props. That's the media, and I can't blame you for that, man, because you consume with the media and how they're pushing it like Tatum is so much more better than Jaylen, but that's 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 far from the case, man. So is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown can get it done inside and out. Jaylen Brown can knows how to switch on several different players. Jaylen Brown knows how to make key defensive plays and defensive stops. Jason Tatum just started doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that he was trash in defense, but Jaylen Brown has always been came up big in when it comes to defense. The only knock on Jaylen Brown that you could say is that he got hurt sometimes or whatever, and he would miss some time or whatever. Other than that, it's always been Jaylen Brown. No, he's a great defensive player. He's not good. What do you? What are you talking about, man? Do you even watch Jaylen Brown? And it's no knock on Tatum because I like Tatum too. I just think, like I said, he was inefficient. He was an inefficient shot jacker at one point in his career. Oh Lord, here we go with that light skin. Man, for real, man. Hey, you ain't never lied, Cypress, man. Man, Steven, like, you need to go. The only reason you saying that you need to go watch more of Jaylen Brown. Go do some studying, man. Go do some film study. But for um for for the Celtics, it's looking like they're gonna go ahead and in the series. Now we got to see how they do on the road. We got to see how they Indiana responds at home. And maybe I'm being a little biased because for people who don't know, Jaylen Brown is my favorite player on the Celtics. Oh Lord, look. See, you ain't want to come in here yesterday, True the King. And now you want to come in here today. And as soon as they win the series, as soon as they win the finals, then he gonna pull up again. Shout out to True the King, man. Make sure y'all go sub to True the King. Yeah, 6 more wins, man. I know why you showed up too, because Miles Turner played like ass. Miles Turner played like shit yesterday. He played like shit. You said Indiana doesn't have enough to win the series. It's looking like that, man. I'm still going because I picked them. I picked them. I'm not one of them hardcore Celtics haters and none of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what y'all thinking, nah. I just pick Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So you don't think that Indiana could actually come back and win? And they shot 20 more free throws at them the first game, but I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. We're not gonna talk about that, True the King. Well, Halliburton, when he was 100%, he made down the stretch. True the King, he made like a couple of errors. While he made some big plays, it was so unlike him to have those turnovers that he had. And then everybody thought that Pascal Siakam was going to do a better job defensively on Jaylen Brown on that last shot. we'll see what happens. Shooter King and Brown Sugar, how have the Celtics been on the road this season? Because I know they've gotten beaten at home a couple of times. They play defense, just not in the way that y'all might. It's not like they don't have defensive players on their team. Pascal Siakam is a defender. Nimbard is a defender. um, on occasion, when he actually steps up, Miles Turner is a defender. But if we're comparing them to like Derek White and Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday, of course not. Matter of fact, I think y'all was second in defense. Surprisingly. I mean, this season, surprisingly. And it has to be brought up. 30 free throws, man. Listen, y'all points in the paint the first game, True the King was, I think they had, the edge on points in the paint. But they had 30 free throws. But Indiana did have 22 turnovers. They played so fast at home. That's why we had to win the first two, because they play. I don't know what it is. Indiana, though, I thought Indiana was gonna at least get one. Because they coming from Madison Square Garden. But Indiana is a tough place to play. I mean, you got Patrick Beverly throwing the ball at people's head and stuff. That's amazing, man. Like when teams start winning, they come out. You said Boston can any style of basketball. It's looking that way, man. People want to see. It's like what Kendrick Perkins said. People want to see them finally get over the hump. We said we can play great defense. Just when it seems like we can't get it right. Now, y'all listen, man. Y'all got. Listen. I want y'all to understand this. The Celtics got the personnel to win it. You know what I'm saying? I've always said that about the Celtics. If you think I'm lying, ask True the King. I've always felt like the Celtics have had the personnel. It's just a mental collapse a lot of times, man. Y'all got the personnel. Y'all have a champion on y'all squad in Drew Holiday. You have guys on there that have been to the finals. It's just y'all need to get over the hump. Y'all act like y'all don't have the personnel. They got the personnel. They got all the tools necessary to win a championship. They were ranked in the top 3 in defense. You know what I'm saying? I think they were the Minnesota Timberwolves were number 1. They were number 2 in defense. And then as far as offense, I think they were right behind Indiana. Indiana was the fastest pace, and I think they were the number 1 offense. I might be don't quote me on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all thinking, oh, straight you capping. You can look it up for me. But I know that they both were offensive. But the thing that the Celtics had on the Pacers is their defense. They were behind Minnesota. You said the Celtics got the refs on their side. Man, Ted, man, I don't even want to. Hey, Ted, as bad as I want to say that, man, I couldn't even say that this game. But in the first game, yeah. But at the same time, you still got to execute. Even though that the refs might have been on their side, Ted, uh, the refs can't help a turnover that Halliburton had. A ref can't help uh, Pascal Siakam not defending. A ref can't help making crucial mistakes and crucial errors down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? That's not the ref's fault. But what the ref did have an impact on is, like the free throws, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, we're playing like a team because they know deep in their hearts if we don't get it right, yeah, they're going to start making some changes. Yeah, I mean, listen, Jaylen Brown is ready. Listen, that's another thing. Jaylen Brown is not. He's trying to not show people that he's second fiddle. I can see him actually us going after Jaylen Brown after the season is over with. You see how I'm talking about the Sixers. You see how we're going, but it just he's got a big contract. We're talking about $286 million. So um, we're already going after Paul George. We're already going after OG Ananobi. Yeah, and I guarantee you he probably gonna go to H Town. Hold on, y'all. He probably gonna end up going to H Town. Hold on one sec, y'all. All right, my bad, y'all. You said you well. I mean, going to the Lakers, that would man. Listen, man. Okay, some people might disagree with me on this right here. All right, but if Tatum or Brown don't win, well, I could see Brown if he goes somewhere else. I could see actually Brown winning before Tatum. I know it sounds crazy to say something like that, but I could see Brown winning a chip before. If they don't win it this year, I could see Brown winning the chip before Tatum. And people get crazy when I say something like that. Listen, man, y'all act like people act like Jaylen Brown. They act like Jaylen Brown is some scrub or something. Like he a third option or something like that. Like Jaylen Brown isn't athletic. Like Jaylen Brown hasn't came through the middle and dunked on people. Like Jaylen Brown don't have a bag. Like Jaylen Brown can't handle the rock. Okay, did he improve on his handles a lot? Yeah, he needed to improve that aspect of his game. But other than that, he could still run in transition. He could catch the oop. But the thing about a lot of people don't understand the reason why I like Jaylen Brown is because he plays both ends of the floor. I'll put it to you like this. You know who Jaylen Brown reminds me a lot of before he got hurt? Now, listen, I don't want people to panic and get crazy when I say this, but he reminded me a lot of Paul George. He reminds me a lot of Paul George before Paul George had got really hurt really bad. Because think about it. Paul George used to do some of the things that Jaylen Brown is doing. You said, I really hope we win because at the end of the day, that would give enough courage to play even better next year. Yeah, that's facts. I always said Brown was better than Tatum. Yeah, Knicks or Thunder should pursue Jaylen Brown. Well, see, the problem with the Thunder, man, the Thunder already kind of locked in for their future, Ted, unless they make a really, really big move that's really going to talk like championship, because they already feel like they have a championship future, like with them molding those guys or whatever, and then you throw somebody else in the midst, that could actually set them back. With the Knicks, that's a good option. Like I said, with the Sixers, but that's who Brown reminds me of. He reminds me of Paul George. Now, was Paul George a better pull up? His game was a lot more appealing. Yeah, it was. But I'm saying the style that they play, because you got to think about it. Paul George, he used to like to attack the rim. I think people forget about how vicious Paul George was, man, when he first got to the league, man. Like, everybody looks at now, they don't pay attention to an Indiana Paul George when it was when Danny Granger was there, when he was coming up in there, man, posterizing LeBron and all them. You know what I'm saying? Being a hawk on defense, meeting you right there at the equator, man. Getting out in the open floor, rocking the cradle type shit. They forget about that Paul George. Yeah, he dunked on, man. Came through. Paul George, man, he was, man, dog. Like, he was like the T-Mac. He reminded me so much of T-Mac, man. I'm like, my goodness, this guy. And see, another thing is that a lot of people forget that Paul George done been to conference finals. He done been to a couple conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Danny Granger was, man. I thought Jonathan Bender was going. Hey, I really, I thought Jonathan Bender was gonna be better than both of those guys coming out of high school. I thought he was gonna be way better. I thought Jonathan Bender was gonna be that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But you got to call him Jonathan Blender because he just blended in with it, blended in with everybody else. Jonathan Blender, he got put in the blender. But yeah, man, that's who Jaylen Brown reminds me of. But the thing about Jaylen Brown, man, is like everything gets so dominated with the media and them talking about Jason Tatum and stuff like that because, and then also you got to realize, man, how cerebral he is. Do people forget that he's in the front office? He's in the league front office. You know what I'm saying? And amongst the the Players Association. You know what I'm saying? Head of the Players Association. Like people forget that this guy is cerebral, and on top of that, he pushes for a lot of good things in society too as well. You know what I'm saying? I like what Jaylen Brown stands for. I like what he stands for, man. And it's not, like I said, it's no knock on Jason Tatum. People got to understand, man. Like when the media will do that. The media will constantly talk about. They'll talk about how good Jason Tatum is, and Tatum this and Tatum that, and then barely talk about Brown. And see, automatically, people have in their mind that uh, the Celtics can't do anything without Jason Tatum, which is not true. They can win without Jason Tatum. I listen. I'm so confident in Jaylen Brown. They can win without Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Now a championship that remains to be seen. But hey, you gotta think about it like this: they winning without Porzingis. Everybody thought like with Porzingis, everybody was like, oh yeah, without Porzingis, they thought that the Celtics were just gonna hold or they weren't gonna be able to do anything. They're winning without him. And so see if Indiana comes back and wins, this is another thing that I don't want people doing. If Indiana comes back and wins, and they win this series, and they don't have Kristaps Porzingis, I don't want to hear none of this. Oh yeah, well Kristaps Porzingis wasn't there. No, I don't want to hear none of it. Because y'all went up 2-0, y'all won without Kristaps Porzingis. Y'all proved y'all can win with him, without him. So I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear nobody blaming nothing on injuries and none of that stuff. You said Tatum plays no D. Yeah, I mean he stepped it up. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like because he did have coming in this season and last season, Ted. He had a high defensive rating, and that was I give props to Ime Udoka. He's improved his defense from when he first came into the league. I'm talking about Tatum. But Brown, you never had to tell Brown to commit to playing D or he has to play defense. That's just something that he always wanted to do. They haven't really got no status on him. That's why, like when you had mentioned, you said they got Kristaps Porzingis and stuff like that. Man, it's no timetable on when they get it back. They were hoping to get him I think you know, by the series, by the series or whatever. But see, I'm gonna put it to you like this, Ted. And look, I'm big on chemistry and continuity. You know that, Ted and Brown Sugar. I'm big on continuity and chemistry. If he comes in there, I could really see Kristaps or KP really messing things up. You know what I'm saying? Messing up the chemistry. I mean, it's the truth, and I know you recognize that too, um, Brown Sugar, because Jason Tatum in the beginning, like, because you got to think about it. I like Jason Tatum because he loved Kobe Bryant, even though, like, there's some parts of his game I see with Kobe, but he's not. He doesn't remind me fully of Kobe Bryant. If we're gonna go there, man, that's Anthony Edwards. But he loved Kobe Bryant. That was his favorite player or whatever. But one of the things that that was a knock on Tatum was, can he play both ends of the floor like a Kobe Bryant? And he struggled in that aspect of the game. But I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say, oh yeah, Tatum hasn't improved. No, he's improved. He's improved a little bit on his shot selection too. He had horrible shot selection. He was a shot jacker. You know what I'm saying? You can't be sitting up in there, talking about, oh yeah, you're gonna be the best player in the league and stuff like that, and you really inefficient. You can't do that. Yeah, get his stamina back. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm coming with excuses. Nah, man. Your boy finna ride out, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, sub to the channel too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment, man. I'm gonna get at y'all later, all right?